Hi, my name is Grzegorz Piwowarek and I'm a senior software engineer at Hazelcast. In today's video, I'd like to show you how to configure Hazelcast as Hibernate second-level cache when playing around with Spring Boot and Spring Data JPA. In this video, we'll bootstrap a new Spring Boot application, add Spring Data JPA and a connection to a database, and then we'll configure Hazelcast as second-level cache for Hibernate. And eventually, we'll run a simple example to see that it actually works. In order to bootstrap our Spring Boot application easily, we can use Spring Initializer, available at start.spring.io. It's enough to just provide required project metadata and then generate and download your project. And now we are ready to open the project. But before we start coding, we need to make sure that we have a database instance up and running. We can use Docker for that. And now, once the database is up and running, we need to add two required dependencies, in this case, Spring Data JPA and database drivers. The next step involves going to application.properties file and configuring our data source. We need to provide things like driver class name, username, password, URL, and data source type. So all we've done so far was to add two dependencies as well as a few config entries inside the application properties file. And it's enough to get the application started. And now it's time to add Hazelcast. In order to do that, we need to add two dependencies, Hazelcast itself as well as Hazelcast Hibernate integration. The next step involves adding two more config properties inside the application.properties file. We'll also add a few extra entries, just to make the example easier to run. And again, as you can see, all you needed to do was to add two dependencies, a few config entries, and we are ready to run the application. And if you have a look inside logs, you can see that the Hazelcast member indeed started. The next step is not obligatory, but it's highly recommended. Spring's auto-configuration can from time to time auto-wire more than one Hazelcast instance. In most cases it's not desired, so it's better to exclude it. Our application is ready. However, we can't really see if it works or not. In this case, let's add a few entities, repositories, and try to see if it works. When creating your own entities, remember about the cache annotations, which is crucial for this to work. And in order to create a custom Spring Data repository, it's enough to create your own interface that extends from a CRUD repository. And now let's write a custom runner that will allow us to save some data into a database and see if it was written properly to a cache. Keep in mind that this is not a production code, it's just something for us to see if the whole process works as intended. And inside the runner, what we are trying to do is to essentially print the cache size before and after saving something to a database. And now, if we run our application, we'll be able to see that initially the cache was empty, but after saving a book into our database, the cache size is 1. That's all for today. I hope you had a chance to learn something, and see you soon in another video.